I think maybe just first pick center.
That's also very valid.
I really do think... Okay,
this
the Renekton...
is less valid.
Yeah, I think Renekton first pick really has... it's seen its day.
Actually, you know what pick that's pretty good into Renekton?
Oh, yeah? Is it a Viking?
It's Olaf, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if Zeus plays it.
Well, we'll have to find out. Who got the POG last game? Gumayushi. Oh, I guess the Olaf wasn't very good. So I guess maybe we don't need to worry about that one in the end. What do you think? That might be the way. I don't know whether they're going to be locking it right here, but I think this is exactly what you should be doing. And KT overlooking the center situation, I think, is possibly going to come back and bite them here in game number 2, unless they show us some way of dealing with it. Unless Owner is going to pick something else, he's just going to hover a few things. There's already a jungler locked away.
I will say there is a Vi available for KT in this situation if they want to pair up the Renekton and the Vi and play some more aggressive dive. One of the weaknesses of Senna is that she is still squishy. You can kill her, but if she doesn't die, the value in this fight we just saw is massive.
Renekton Nidalee.
No, I don't rate it. I don't rate it in this situation. Lilia can keep up with the clear speed. Your poke is irrelevant into center. They kind of just go in for the Sejuani Renekton again. And I'm going to be honest, out of what KT brought in the last draft, this was the least inspiring components.
Yeah.
Sejuani. Not necessarily in the draft phase, but with how the game played out, they felt kind of non-factors. So,
I don't know whether that was the part that you'd want to run back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they think, we just take Faker off Azir and we're fine, but I don't think Faker's Azir... it was a good stable pick for him, but it didn't really offer that much in terms of how the game played out. So, a bit interesting, KT's approach to this one. They have just gone for the same top side as before. Now, T1, a lot of picks that you could prioritize here. The Neela, the Olaf might get banned if they go away here. But they're looking at the Yasuo, and this is technically a flex.
Very cool.
This could be, we've seen T1 play Senna Yasuo bot lane, but also Yasuo into Smolder. We've seen a lot of Yasuo into... And obviously, Senna Ornn is a really popular combo with the old Senna. But with the changes to Senna, I really think that, Senna plus tank, like, you're not the same carry Senna. It's not as valuable in that situation.
Whoa! That's an Aatrox. That is even more healing.
This was the favorite spring pick for Zeus. He was just consistently picking up this Aatrox in a lot of situations. and really getting a ton of value out of it. Not seeing it as much recently. It is more towards the Bruiser Aatrox than the Lethality Aatrox, so more durability in fights. KT just running it back.
I kind of want KT just to play Ziggs.
I really...
Oh, okay. Cool, thanks.
You wish... you wish for it, and they'll just deliver immediately. I will say, I think the MF Seraphine, horrible into the Yasuo. And this is something I've been looking for, by the way, since I saw the Senna changes. Would be something like a Wukong. They're going to go for the Lee Sin instead.
Whoa.
But I think pairing the Senna with Bruisers, really powerful,
Oh, wait. Hang on, where are things going? Because I remember when a certain bottom lane played Senna Lee Sin.
I think it's Senna Lee bot.
Sick.
I think it's going to be Senna Lee bot, Lilia jungle, Aatrox top.
I mean, Lilia has to be in the jungle, right? Aatrox probably has to be top lane. This is likely where it's going to be.
That's what I think. And I think pair him, because the thing is, you're not the same damage Senna, but if you have a bruiser like Lee who has threat, in those early skirmishes, the healing just means he's so hard to deal with, he's got so much fighting power. And the thing is, Ziggs Smolder, phenomenal amounts of damage late game.
A lot of ways to set up the Yasuo as well, which aren't necessarily usual. Let's jump into the Rift for game number 2. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of apprehension, I'm going to say, going into game number 2. Because I think one thing I value the most in a best of 5 is adaptation and forcing your opponent to do something different the next time around. And I think forcing T1 to do something not Senna would have been a really great idea.
Yeah. And, oh no, Deft.
Oh dear. Deft already going to get queued here by Carrier, as Beryl doing his very best to try and keep him safe, and is going to be able to do so. Tornado going to connect, though, and now BDD is coming in. Another Q going to land here from Carrier, looking for first blood, and he's going to boop him back, but the flash forward's going to be there. That's going to be first blood, going over to Lee Sin, but Carrier might pay for it. Deft is now in an awkward position. He's going to flash. BDD gets a kill, but so does Faker. Pyoshik's going to turn up. One after the other, they head towards the enemy jungle. That flash was sick from Yoshik, and now Ona might find himself in a rough position, but it's 2-2, guys. Let's back off. Never mind. Gumayushi is now going to find BDD, also face-checking a brush, as BDD is just going to walk it off. He's like, no, we're finished here. And Guma is going to say, no, we're not, as Beryl is back, and he's Hex flashing, and he's going to crash onto Gumayushi, who's now found himself a little bit too far forward. Does get the piercing darkness, though, and Ona spinning around a whole bunch, then takes a bunch of damage back. Over to you, Orcs. This is ridiculous. As Ona is going to now set up towards this Ziggs, but Faker's in trouble. Great interruption on the crash down, but the Ignite still comes in. BDD chasing him down, flapping over. Another Q would do it, but he doesn't overextend. I think if BDD had taken another step forward, he was just dead.
Yeah, very danger close there. Got to respect the threat of T1, who will move up to cover Faker. And he will survive on that one.
And it's only 5.5 minutes. As Faker is going in with 300 health, and he's just dead. BDD going to be able to grab that kill as Beryl and Koshik right there ready to challenge.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit more faith in the center.
Is he also going to do the thing that you like doing as well, which is just not building an Archangels ever?
You know, I honestly think of all the games, this could actually be an okay Archangels one.
Oh no!
Heresy, but there's a lot of dive threats. You might appreciate the shield. Yep, definitely, and faster stacking, faster spikes. We do now see finally the Renekton Sejuani pairing, looking to punish Zeus.
Oh, there's the flash forward from Perfect! Zeus is going to get tagged, and the Winter's Wrath will be enough. The dive was beautiful there from KT.
Just the immediate flash done. Stacks the passive, gets the damage. Oh, BDD.
Yep. Flapping around in circles here is BDD right now as the Shattering Strike does come in. Faker is going to ignore it, basically. And that is going to be Dragon secured by T1.
Yep, so early Dragon picked up this time by T1. We obviously saw...
Oh, I actually thought that he invested the ult, but it was just a permafrost. It's crazy.
Yep. There
we go. As Beryl now looking for an opportunity, could crash over this wall, and there it is! Crashdown does come on through there as well, as Zeus does get over here. Gumayushi, let's see whether he can keep them alive. 3 versus 2 right now. A lot of things on cooldown here on KT's side, but it is another pick-off for them. As Faker walks behind his wind wall one more time, looking for some more knockups. We'll be able to stack up that Q. But BDD is just sort of sneezing on the minion wave, having a good time. Tornado goes wide, and it looks like this is just kind of business as usual for the Smolder. BDD just waiting for that late game.
And Yoshik already being 3-0 right now has again gone for that early lock-it, but a lot of and I think a big thing was the power of the Olaf in game 1 was amplified so much by the center. If the Aatrox is behind, you know, yes, you have other options to amplify in this game, but he really benefited from having this winning top laner in that one for the center to sustain up with, and now you don't have that. Perfect moving around. He is so strong in these early grub fights.
Yep, teleport is going to come in here as Perfect getting in. There is the crash down from Beryl. Mega Inferno Bomb right on top of Ona as the grubs are being taken down in the meantime. Carrier dashing into the backline. Perfect surviving for so long, but will eventually be taken down, and the damage is kind of missing here from KT, but these health bars going lower when the bouncing bombs do land. Gumayushi taking a lot of damage, but he's gonna still get the ult off. The Dawning Shadow layered across. Def is gonna sacrifice himself to get the kill onto the center, but the team fight is won pretty wholeheartedly here by T1.
Such a scrappy fight, but T1, that's where their composition flourishes. KT try and go for the big engage, but we don't see the value coming out, and
this is something that they've always sort of had in their back pocket, as Ona is going to be starting off this Drake once again. Exactly the same dragons as we had in game 1. Quizzical, you could say.
Wow.
See whether it's another Hextech Soul. I imagine this one's going to be a Chemtech just to give us some of that balance. But if it's a Chemtech Soul and there's a center on the Rift, do not let that be a thing, as it's going to be an Ocean, and that sounds like it's even worse.
Yeah, I don't think we had enough healing.
Yeah.
You know, needed a bit more. This might just be given over to KT.
Yeah, it looks like they are just going to be able to leverage their little bit of tempo that they were able to build up for themselves. Hextech Minefield goes down there from Def just to stop Gumayushi from being able to get in. As the snare is going to land onto Perfect. He could still be a target here. Does hold onto the slice in order to get away from Carrier, as there is the Rift Herald picked up by KT. Now they're looking for an escape. Bowling Ball connects. Zeus just going to head towards the mid lane, shove this one out, see whether T1 can catch them on the rotation. Looks like it's just going to be a blue buff steal, and going to need quite a few items before that is really a thing. Hasn't been able to get around the map and take plates as well, as we saw. As you can see, all of these turrets looking pretty healthy on T1's side as well. We do get the Rift Herald charging in. T1 here for the defense. Not going to be a turret taken, just going to be a bit of damage here for KT. The snout of Bristle that did sort of smell that ball as it was flowing by, as this dragon has now been started. And KT, will they actually commit to any sort of play? Carrier going to get spotted out as the tower is going to be taken, and KT just giving this one up, saying instead, we're just going to try and take your stuff. And with a Ziggs, it kind of makes some sense. Satchel can go down, doesn't even need it, and KT get 2 turrets in trade for a single Ocean Drake.
And they might even
wait, two turrets, I said. I said 2 turrets. By Jove. Never mind, that's 3. That is going to be Faker now trying to trade it back for an outer turret towards the bottom side of the map, but I don't know whether that one's going to be worth it as KT slink into the enemy jungle. Yeah, the inroads are just not looking too good, as now Carrier might be in trouble. Oh my goodness, and she does so much damage? What the heck? As, alright, Beryl is going to be pulled back there by the Infernal Chains. Mom goes down, doesn't do a massive amount. Yeah, this Carrier will be able to heal himself back up again, as Mega Inferno Bomb almost just straight up kills Gumayusi.
This is one of the problems with being a level 8 center in a game where, you know, BDD and Depth are level 13. They do a lot of damage. Yeah. And you don't have much health.
Like, this is the kind of neutral fight that T1 are going to be looking for. And we'll see whether they can actually line it up, because they still, like, if they're not hard committing, it's still going to be a loss in a lot of these scenarios. As you can see, Zeus looking for these flank angles. And Carrier on the other side for the pincer is going to get caught out here by Perfect, who does dash his way out. A long way away from any sort of turret right now. You can see Carrier also now moving away. Beryl looking for that flank as Zeus gets on top of his ward once again. The snare going to get picked up by Beryl here as Ona moves over. It's going to be a 50-50, but it's taken by the Smolder somehow. Carrier steps on 2 balloons and gets down to half health.
Yep, and KT's super happy with that. They denied the soul, and they just bought more time. You know, the concern about the Elder, the flip that it could end up meaning a game lose even with a Smolder on your team. They don't have to worry about that for another 5 minutes. So good moves there from KT. Good secure. Oh, TP flank coming in. This is from Carrier.
Yeah, this is very aggressive. And Gumayushi's just going to get dove on top of Depth. Takes him down with a Mega Inferno Bomb. And Carrier now just not able to find those angles, because without the center, what is this comp actually capable of? As now it's Perfect teleporting in. Zeus going to get thrown around like a ragdoll. These executes starting to fly in as he looks to be a hero, but he's burnt to death by BDD. The kick, it's going to connect, and Carrier takes down his ex-teammate, but at what cost? As Faker is at full health, he puts up the wind wall, but 1 versus 4, I just don't think it's going to be enough. The last breath comes down, but it is exactly that. He'll take Pyoshik with him, but KT win the fight.
And it just felt like T1, you know, they keep bringing in more members, more sacrifice. This is feeling really bad for T1 right now.
It's just not looking like the playability level is very high.
Yeah, it's a struggle, and you know they're trying to find angles where they can approach with and get those flanks in, but KT doing a great job of not giving them any opportunity. They are moving over to control the Baron again, but this is the thing, is KT can be so patient because, you know, yes, they can start up the Baron here, but they're just stacking as the game goes on.
I mean, the thing that I'm worried about is that KT are going to feel like they're rushed when they're absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because they sometimes just do that. Because like you say, I mean, they have all of the time in the universe in this game. I mean, they're praying for a 70-minute, as they're not going to get one, as that is going to be a kick out onto Beryl. Mom comes down. Owner is going to absorb a lot of buttons by just pressing Zhonya as he puts the Crocodile to sleep. Is now Perfect. He could be in trouble, but it's another crash down. Depth takes down Ona, and BDD is untouched in this backline. Faker goes in, but the Dragon is mauling them. Depth satchels his way out. That's the Crocodile locking down a kill, and now it's BDD flapping forward, and he can feel the wind in his wings, and Zeus is just going to go down. It's a triple kill for the little Dragon. He is legendary. And I don't even think he needs his mom anymore.
He's just untouchable. You know, it felt like the whole fight, BDD was the only person on KT who's never really threatened. He finally sees a window to go in, and he decimates T1. He is more than online at this point. He is taking over the game, and now they might end, actually. It's a Ziggs.
Yeah, Owner is up in 4 seconds' time, but like you were saying, there are satchels aplenty here for this Ziggs, as Depth has already gone to work on that first turret. The Nexus is all but dead. as it is exposed, the Mega Inferno Bomb just for good measure, and KT even out the series.